In this video, I'd like to discuss the difference between margin and padding. This is frequently a point of confusion for people starting out with CSS. So what I want to do is I want to create a couple boxes, and I'll give them a class of box. So I'm going to have two of these, and then each one is going to have some content inside of it. So I'll just say some content, same thing over here. And what I want to do is just establish some browser resets here. So let's go ahead and target everything on the page. We'll say padding is 0 and margin is 0. Okay, and then let's give our boxes some style here. So I'm going to target the box class, and then we'll give it a background of light blue. And that should be good for now. So let's take a look at this in the browser and see what we have. So I've got these two boxes saying some content, but I also want to give them some dimensions. So let's do that. Let's say the height is going to be 150 pixels and the width will be 150 pixels. And because we're specifying these dimensions here for the box, I also want to make sure that my browser is sizing the boxes the way that I want, which is according to the actual border. So let's take a look at this. There we go. We've got these two boxes and they're stacked one on top of another. Okay, let's say that I want to create some space between the boxes. So I don't want them to be right up against one another. I want them to be some vertical distance. So for that, I can create a margin. I can say I want my margin to be 20 pixels. And let's see what that looks like. So there we go. We've got 20 pixels spacing out these two boxes between each other. We also have 20 pixels on the left and on the top here because, as you can see, our margin is applying to the entire element, not just one side of it. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to get this content away from the edge of each one of these boxes. So for that, I need to use padding. Padding is the thing that rests in between the border of an element and its inner content. So I'm going to say here, padding is, we'll say 25 pixels just to, or actually 30 pixels just to differentiate it a little bit. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so as you can see, the content is now 30 pixels away from its edges, whereas each element is 20 pixels away from the next element. So let's inspect so that we can see this a little bit better. And if I hover over this element, we can see the box model at play here. If I go over to the computed, it shows me that the inside of this is 90 by 90. There is 30 pixels of padding here, and then I've got a border which is non-existent, no border in this case, and then there's 20 pixels of margin around the element, so you can see that's what's spacing it away from the box below it.